to my channel. Whilst I consolidate all these craft supplies and have a little sort through ahead of the summer holidays, I thought we could have a little chat about rainy day activities and at-home days in the summer holidays, because we can't always guarantee on the weather, and sometimes, you know, life happens and we have to be at home with the kids. But there are some frugal and fun ways to keep them entertained, and we'll have a little chat about that today. I have all these craft supplies taking up a lot of room in my hallway. I have a shelf that I keep them on, and I need to consolidate them. I need to work out what we're using for the summer holidays, what sort of things can go with what, and whilst I'm doing that, I'm going to have a little chat about how we can save money in the summer holidays on activities at home with the children. To kick off, as I've spoken about many times, is crafting with supplies you find in the charity shop. Please don't think all of this you have to run out and buy loads and loads of craft supplies. This is 14 years in the making. I've been very lucky that people think of me when they're getting rid of craft supplies. I'll talk more about that as we go through. But kicking off with the charity shop finds. So my local charity shops are amazing for craft supplies, one in particular. So this, we've used a lot of it, but this, as you can see, £2 for a jar of craft supplies. There was feathers, old gift tags, little Hessian bags, all sorts of things. And we've used quite a lot of that, so I'm going to consolidate that. Buttons, £2 for a whole thing of buttons. I know some charity shops are a bit stingy with the buttons. There's one I go to and they try and sell buttons for like 10p each. I think that's a rip-off for second-hand buttons. But £2 for a jar of buttons, brilliant for crafting. Also ribbon, I think I paid £2. Yep, again £2 for this jar of ribbon. And these are multiple packs of what they call patchwork squares. So old fabric the charity shop cut up, and they put them in packs for £1 and you can buy them. I've shown these before. Perfect again for crafting. Even brand new things you can find in the charity shop. I think I paid 50p for these, so half price. Quite happy with them. Loom bands, another thing. We've gone through nearly all of them, but these were again £2 in the charity shop. So get to your charity shops. You can get a little box going of craft supplies, get some PVA glue, some paper, and you're away. You have crafting days with your children. A very frugal activity is junk modelling, because you can save all your tissue boxes, food boxes, milk bottles, bottle tops, toilet rolls. It's not costing you any money. Add a bit of glue, get a box going with some glue, maybe some old newspaper, tissue paper, wrapping paper, some pens, and you've got a very frugal activity that you can whip out when you need to entertain your kids when they're at home. Things like old wool, shove it all in this box. It doesn't just have to be a junk modelling box, just get yourself a craft box ready, because children, when you give them things like this, they will use their imagination and come up with some brilliant ideas, things we wouldn't have even thought of. A lot of this stuff, a lot of it is gifted, so people in my family know we do a lot of crafts, and my children, my son in particular, does a lot of crafts. So he has got, these are brilliant, little paint sticks, not as messy as normal paint, come out like paint but dry quite quickly. So he had them for his birthday, as well as these, which are also paint sticks. He got these for Christmas. These are amazing. I think these are from Amazon. I will link them below if I can find them. But yeah, we're not short on paint, so we need to consolidate all the paint. We've also, so these were given to him for his birthday. We're definitely not short on paint, so we're going to do a lot of painting this summer and a lot of crafting, collaging. And like I say, I'm going to repeat it again, we do the Harvest Fair, so all this stuff comes in really handy for the collages and the different craft activities they want the children to do. So we've also got things, more things. He's bought these for himself, my son. He had some birthday money and he'd done one of them already, but these two are left, and he hasn't looked to make them yet, so we're putting them aside for a rainy day activity. Alongside, he had this for his birthday, tie-dye kit. We've only done a couple of t-shirts, so we want to finish that off this summer so that we can consolidate everything a bit more, because we're getting a bit carried away with how much stuff we've actually got here. These are all temporary tattoos. We don't let him do them in term time when he's going to school, but he always pick a few each week to do during the holidays. It's a bit of fun. We've got superhero ones, so we just keep them with the craft stuff. It's something you do not in school time. And what else do we have? Little paint things. Like I said, we accumulate these over the years. It's not, you don't have to rush out. If you need something to put paint in, old plates, paper plates, even like if you've got an old cereal box, cut it off, like lie it down flat, cut the top off, you can pull the paints in, and when you're done just recycle it. So these, I think this came with a set we've probably used many moons ago, but this is handy, so I keep these sort of things. Again, I've got sets like this that I buy in the charity shops for 50p. I've shown you what's inside this in one of my shorts. But when I see something like that for 50p, you hand this to the child with a piece, some glue, some paper, see what they come up with. I think these are quite handy little kits. Year round we have a lot of colouring books, and we have a lot of paper because obviously we have a child in secondary school, so they're printing off a lot of things. We have pages of paper, pages and pages and pages. So it's always worth getting yourself some printer paper. It's cheaper to buy it like that than from the craft section in most stores. Card as well. See if it's cheaper to buy bulk. Check your charity shops. We have colouring books year round, but you can also go on to Google and type in free colouring sheet printables, and you'll get links to certain sites that allow you to print colouring sheets for free, and you can get them in all designs. I do that quite often. My children will choose their design and we print them. My husband likes to sit down and do colouring with them when they do that. These haven't even been used yet. My son wanted watercolour pencils for Christmas, so we got him some watercolour pencils because he kept using his sister's, and these haven't even been used, so we're going to make sure these get used this summer. They're the ones you draw with and then go over with a wet paintbrush, so that should be quite fun. I would quite like to do them as well. And this is our spare school supplies pencil case, so if my daughter needs a green pen, a Pritt stick, a rubber, she'll go in there to find it if she's lost hers or needs a replacement. Also, another great idea for craft supplies is Temu. We get a lot on Temu. I got, for my son's birthday, he had an arty party, and there was little wooden key rings with the key ring attachments all made up. I think I paid £5 for 50. The children had great fun colouring them in, but also you can get these scratch key rings, you know, the ones where you scratch and it makes a colour and a design. You don't have to put the scratch bit in, you can just use the outer bit of the key ring. So they look like that. Put your own pictures in them. But they're just a couple of pounds on Temu, so it's worth having a look on Temu. They've got stickers, they've got the massive colouring rolls. We bought one of them for my son's birthday as well, the huge ones that you roll out and it's like 3 meters of colouring paper, like colouring in paper. So that was good fun too. And like I said before, you can use wrapping paper as an art supply, leftover wrapping paper, ribbons, gift tags, anything you've got that you think, oh, that can be made into something. Throw it in a box, stash it in a box. That's what we do, and it's just handy to have there if the children need anything. I'm going to put all the stuff, craft supplies such as this, in this box, so it's easy to grab if anybody needs it. I might put this lot in here too. Tissue paper, wool, little stickers. What else do we have here? Make your own key rings would be good in there. The leads, these sets, loom bands, because loom bands can be used for anything. You can even cut them up and use them in your crafting. I don't know if we'll see about that. I don't even know what is in this box. I'll have a look. Oh, these are Christmas tapes. My son uses these to decorate his Christmas card envelopes at Christmas time, so we'll keep them separate. These are Christmas as well. Right, let's see. More clay. We have so much clay, it's unbelievable. My mum was very generous with the amount. Oh, I've broken that. She was very generous with the amount she gave us, and she gave us all of these are, my son's not allowed to use these. These are for what my teenage daughter uses. If I can get in there. That's why they're kept out of reach. She gave us all rolling pins, cutters. These are the ones my son uses. Plastic, non-sharp ones. We also have this, which you can put the different ends on and it pushes out different shapes of clay. This makes the letters in clay. We've even got to make different designs. This is all clay related. This helps you make flowers, so like petals. There's little boards to protect your table. Varnishes for them, or glaze, and she gave us loads of books, which are handy. My son likes copying out of the books when he does clay. I think we're going to keep this as a clay box because we have so much. So yes, I will link some clay, which we believe is a good value, from Amazon below, if you're interested. You don't need fancy pants cutters. You can use cookie cutters. You can use Play-Doh cutters. It's more for like my eldest child, who does more specific crafting with clay. My son just makes his own things, copying out the books. But yeah, very, very useful to have a box of clay when it's raining. I don't know if that's going to go on there. We'll put that together like that. My son got these for his birthday. So this is great for junk modelling. Egg carton creations. You can go online, Google anything like this. Google what crafts can I make out of egg cartons for children? What can I make out of a junk modelling box, tissue box? You'll find all of this information online and for free. This is the Sharpie pencil case. That is why it's not just out and about, because I'm not having that stain my carpets and whatnot if my son's playing with it. So we keep the Sharpies up high, out the way, and they get used with an adult present. Permission has to be asked to use the Sharpies. Like that. And something else which is super, super important, PVA glue, child-friendly glue. We don't have any super glue in our craft sets or our craft boxes, all PVA glue. So, and it's cheap to buy PVA glue. You can find that in Poundland, anywhere. So grab yourself some bottles of PVA glue. Now this box is the fun box. This is what I've been keeping most of the stickers and things in. We have fabric, card. I've tried to label them, but it gets muddled up. So what was this one? Paper, card and fabrics, kind of. This one is pom-poms, lolly sticks and pipe cleaners. Again, this is years worth of accumulation. People giving my children presents. That's craft kits. The lady across the road is a really, really big crafter. She has a whole bedroom dedicated for her card making, and she gives my children the stamps and the stencils that she doesn't want anymore, and some old cards. She gave them all of these washi tapes. One thing I really don't like, glitter, but we've got it. Oh, I don't like glitter. Glitter glues I can handle, just glitter. So I'm not a slime mum either. You do slime on the tiles in the bathroom or the kitchen, nowhere near my carpets. Whoever invented slime, oh my goodness. And then we've got offcuts of card, sequins, stickers, with some buttons in there. Oopsie, losing everything. And the bottom is paint and things that go in slime. I cannot stand slime. Oh dear, there we go. And like when you get a craft set, my children like will finish the craft set, like if you've got a little ceramic thing to paint or whatever, and you get loads of paint left. Keep these, keep them. Don't throw them just because they've done the craft set. They're so useful for in the future. So that is full. I'm not going to add anything else to this, but this is really easy just to whip down. And I give my son a little pot of glue. So I normally use, I've got an old like jam jar that I use to put glue in. And if you put too much in and they don't use all the glue, leave the paintbrush in it and cover it with like some cling film or a Ziploc bag to keep the glue moist so you're not wasting it. So another issue we had from the arty party was obviously we had to buy lots of glue sticks. I suppose it's not an issue, these will last us a long time, but we have a lot of glue sticks. So it's just more about storage of these things. We had lots and lots of stickers left over, which again is perfect. It's not an issue, is it really, to have lots of these things. And when I bought some of the craft sets in the charity shops, they come with some random bits and pieces. All things like this. If you can think, like, I'm not sure what these are. I think they're for making bracelets. So my daughter's going to wrap some friendship bracelet, what do you call it, yarn around them. See what designs she can come up with. So that should be interesting. Put them in there. Stickers in there. And we keep, if you like with the oh, I thought that was a spider then, my crikey. The if you keep your little paint sets from little craft sets, keep all your paintbrushes. Paintbrushes are handy. We keep all of ours. For beading, my son has beads, he keeps them separate because he does them very regularly. But these are a spare pair of tweezers for beads. A makeup, oh, I don't know why that's in there. Makeup sponge. So now I can free up this basket and use it for a gift. I've just found some more tie-dye stuff. I didn't even know, like, this is years old. I'm going to put it with the other tie-dye and we'll see if we could use some of this. This is another thing which is really handy to buy, just a roll of paper. Obviously, when I've done videos before about buying like the odd roll of wallpaper from the charity shops, pick one up. You can always use the back of it. Even if you don't want to use the design, you can use the back. If it's cheap enough, pick it up. It's worth it. So that's all the paper and crafts. I'm just going to put that in there. This came out of a craft kit. My daughter made a little rabbit. She had a little sew your own rabbit bunny, and this was all what was left. She didn't use it all, so we're going to keep that. I have a use for this, so I'm actually going to keep this for myself for something I'm doing. So ice peel for that one. Another great idea is to do stop motion. You can find free apps. I'll put a link below for a free app that we use. I can't remember the name of it right now, but we did it at a craft event last summer, and the children made clay figures, and then they got to use the stop motion app. It's really straightforward to use this app to do their own little videos using their clay figures, Wallace and Gromit style, that's what we called it. And so that's another great idea, and it's free, and you don't have to like make clay figures. You can use your own little figurines. They can do it themselves with themselves in it. So that's another fun activity. My son would do hours and hours and hours of that, so it's really fun for them to see it come together at the end. I think I'm actually going to use this to consolidate all the paints because it's just too bulky to keep all of this as it is. So, do I want to line that basket first? Yes, I do. We're going to line the basket. I'm not having paint shooting through that. And it just fits the basket. There we go. So you can, if you have young children and you're worried about paints and Play-Doh, a Play-Doh is non-toxic to eat, and it tastes very salty, so that children are put off eating it. But you can make your own Play-Doh, you can make your own salt dough, all like ingredients that could be eaten. You can make your own gloop. I'm not sure how you make it. I think it's with cornstarch, corn flour, and it's that stuff when you push it, it's like water when you pick it up, but it feels solid. So if you've got young children, making your own with what you've got in the house is probably better than buying lots of stuff that they're not going to use all the time. There is a way of making paints as well. I've never done that with food colouring and whatnot. But yeah, Play-Doh, salt dough. Salt dough, if you let it dry out, you can keep it forever, so they make perfect like presents for people. I'll put all these in here. I'm going to recycle this. Keep that. Put the paint sticks in. I don't think we're going to have enough space. Recycle that. More paint. I don't think we're going to fit these all in here, are we? We might have to keep... What I'm going to do is I'll have these ones ready to go. These ones can be saved for when those have run out. I will open these up and see what's inside and what they look like. I don't know if they're just refill pots. These were gifted to my son. Let's have a look. Oh no, they're little tiny paint pots you can stick your paintbrush into. They'll go in there, they'll work. Nice bright Crayola ones, lovely. I think we're okay for painting, don't you? I see paint at the charity shops as well, sometimes just a little bit gone, sometimes brand new boxes. Always check to make sure they're not dried out before you buy them. And yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I put the paintbrushes in here, but I'm actually going to move them into there. Oh, there we go. Paintbrushes. That doesn't look bad as a gift, does it? Obviously I wouldn't use paper like that, but quite a nice gift idea. If you know somebody who has children, you might not have children yourself, get some paintbrushes, some paper, make a little gift basket for the summer holidays, especially if there's a birthday coming up around that time. So I think I've consolidated quite a bit, and I know what I have. That's what's important, is knowing what you have, so you don't buy anything or you think, oh, do I have glue? Check before the summer holidays, so you're not rushing around. Or if you think you have and you haven't, there's nothing worse than that when you've promised the children a craft day. So I know what I have now. I don't need to buy anything unless I see things in the charity shop. I'm always stocking up if I see a good deal in the charity shop, but I'm quite happy with what we've got for this summer. I'm keeping these little kits aside because we want to use them because they're quite bulky and taking up space. So as soon as the summer holiday starts, and it's probably going to be a bit rainy because we're going to have rain all this week at least, so we shall see. We'll get those used up. And this is what our craft section looks like. I'm very happy with what we've got. We have got plenty. Like I said, you don't need to have this amount of stuff, just a little box with some bits to get you started, and then just bear in mind, keep it in your head when you're in the charity shop, look for craft things, put them away, and it just saves so much money. I don't think I've paid full price on anything here, only the things that were gifted from other people buying them, but yeah, I don't like paying full price if I don't have to. So my top takeaway tips from this video are: check in the charity shop for craft supplies, do junk modelling, all free, save your junk, free colouring printables, doing clay, Play-Doh, make your own if you want to, stop motion using the app that I will link below, and just planning ahead, knowing what you've got, So you're not having to spend money to entertain your kids. If they're, I'm bored, going on. It's easy to just go, oh, come on then, let's go here, let's go there. No, we're having a day at home today. You're doing painting, you're doing stop motion, you can do a bit of colouring sheets, and it's set out and you know what you're doing, and it's just planning ahead is the #1 takeaway tip. So thank you for stopping by, guys, and I'll catch you in the next video.